Looks like it works. Hey, look at that, huh? Streaming live on Dlive as well. Yeah, just gonna see how it works. Yeah, this is the Chris Watts video, yeah. Alright. Isn't that weird how every time I go live, the subscriber count goes down the second the live starts? I don't understand that either. It's weird. Like it was 36,364. Oh, and then he goes, is the intro so bad that it just goes off the air, right? Hey, if you guys can check and see if it's working on Dlive, that'd be cool. Well, let me see if I can do it. Who knows, right? Who knows? Let's see. Is it working? Oh, look at that. It's working. And that's why you just heard two voices. Okay, cool. All right. Excellent. It's a lot more colorful over there. That's for damn sure. I'll tell you that. Yeah, so we're going to talk about two cases tonight, but before that, you know, remember the Pitbull attack yesterday that killed the girl? Well, the guy got charged with second-degree murder. Okay, I don't know how well. They must have some other information, like maybe he let the dog out of spite, right? Hey, thanks, Barbara. You know, maybe he let the dogs out of spite. And then it's just horrible. But hey, that's awesome that he's going to be charged with that. Oh, there goes my stomach. My stomach's a little bit. I think I ate too much stuff with milk in it today. But tonight we're going to be talking about two different cases, and the cases are involving Trudy Appleby, and that's a case from 1996.
2,000 views for you.
Thank you. 2,000 views. That's from 1996, and then Heidi Lynn Childs and David Lee Metzler, and that's more recent. That's from like let's see, in August 2009, but still 10 years ago. All right, so let's take a look at them. It's crazy. Both of these cases are just now picking up steam. So I thought we'd go over these. Yeah, me too, Audra. Me too. They actually, on the media, they mention all the different towns that have banned pit bulls already, or in the country. It was like all over the place. They also... you know, there's people going, oh, well, you know, it's the owners. It's not the owners, okay? it can be part of the owners too, right? But they have bred in them sort of an instinct to be like that, right? So even if they're nice and you're a great owner, they can just snap, and that's just the reality of it. And don't go, well, that's because they didn't really train them right. Well, no, that's because that's the kind of dog they are. All right, they kill over 30 people a year. They were saying in that town there was something like 500 reports of bites from pit bulls. And, you know, they played a whole bunch of 911 calls, people calling in, talking about how they have a big gash and this and that and the other thing. So, yes, I am not a fan of pit bulls. I love dogs, but not that breed. Sorry. Okay. Now, if you have a pit bull and you're one of the people that, you know, just thinks they're the greatest, you know. I mean, the thing is, if you own one and they've never done anything, you probably think they're great. But for the rest of us who see the reality of it, it's like, wow. Okay, see, there you go, Ella Rose. Lies, my pit bull is an angel. Therefore, all of them are angels. Sorry. you're wrong. Okay? All right, so now I'm going to go switch over to the cases that we're going to be talking about tonight. Yeah, your reality isn't true, Joe. The reality are the people who've been killed. That's the reality of it. Your reality is, oh, wow, it just has, you might get lucky the whole time that they're alive and there won't be an attack, right? There might not be an attack, and it'll just be, I don't know if it's all luck. Here's the thing: is most pit bulls aren't going to kill somebody, okay? But they all have the ability to, and it's in there somewhere, okay? And if you get the wrong trigger at the wrong time, even if you're the greatest owner in the world, it's gonna happen. Right, exactly, just like people. So with those kind of people, we execute them or put them in prison for life. Okay, there you go. All right, patrols increase after student deaths. So this is Virginia Tech, all right, in Richmond, Virginia. This is where this article took place. This is the news leader in Staunton, Virginia. I'm probably not even pronouncing that right. It doesn't seem like I'm cutting any breaks with the names of anything recently. Okay, but this publication is called The News Leader. All right. Authorities stepped up patrols Friday near an area of Jefferson National Forest where a Virginia Tech couple, described by their minister as godly young people, were found slain. A man walking his dog early Thursday found the bodies of David Lee Metzler, 19, of Lynchburg, and Heidi Lynn Childs, 18, of Forest, in the parking lot of a day use area and campground that is popular hangout for Virginia Tech students. And here we go. Just a second, I'll move this over here. So this is the location. Okay, Caldwell Fields. So let's see where Virginia Tech is. Hold on. Just to get a Virginia Tech. There you go. So here's where Virginia Tech is. And I guess apparently the students would go drive up here and hang out. But when they did it, they both were killed by a rifle. Now, I wonder if that was close range or from distance. They're going to know the answer to that question, the police. But like all the other cases, they don't really say much about it. It seems so common now. Like there's the case that we have been talking about, let's see, the Maryland Joy Base. Well, I've contacted the detectives, and they're just kind of like, yeah. They don't ever get back to you. It's like, really? But this case has been cold for 32 years. Don't you think it might be good to have shed a little light on it? Get a little bit more information out there, get the ball rolling. It drives me nuts. All right, so there's the place where they pulled over. Now let's get the next article. This is the same day, and this is the second page of the article. Autopsies were being performed, but Montgomery County Sheriff's Lieutenant Brian Wright said both students appear to have been shot sometime late Wednesday night or early Thursday morning. Metzler's body was found in his 1992 dark blue Toyota Camry. So the boyfriend, he was found inside the Camry. And Childs, the girlfriend, was found outside the car. Authorities are searching for anyone who might have seen the car or anyone else in the area at the time who might have heard the shots. The campground was about 15 miles from Virginia Tech campus. Let's see. Would have no one else around. Yeah. So at the time they were there, they were thinking there would be nobody else around. Mullins was expecting traffic at the spot to pick up this weekend because Virginia Tech students returned to classes on Monday. So this must have been, let's see, so this is August. This must have been the summer break. And then on Monday, the fall term begins and students return back to school. And then this area would be used for a few months as fall is still pretty warm early on, and then it starts getting colder and colder and colder. The weekends get quite busy once the students return. Permits are required to use the campground at Caldwell Fields, and Mullins said there were no permits issued Wednesday night to camp there. The area where Metzler and Childs were found is a wildlife viewing area overlooking a field full of wild flowers, birds, and often deer, Mullins said. Mullins said the Forest Service cracked down on illegal activity in the area years ago because so many people, mostly students, were using the field to party. Students, some like to drink, he said, but I come across quite a few who are out there to enjoy the night, the friendship. I think they were just out there. The parking lot and campground reopened on Friday. So Metzler, he was a sophomore industrial and system engineer major, and Childs was a sophomore and biochemistry major. So these weren't idiots, okay? These were two really bright kids, and they're going to Virginia Tech. They were both godly young people, so they're both really active in the church, that kind of thing. But one of the things that was interesting is Childs, the girlfriend, her father is Sergeant Donald Childs and has been in the Virginia State Police for 20 years. So that part's interesting. I wonder if that has any bearing on what happened. Yeah. Okay. A family friend who answered the Metzler's residence said they were not home. Sue Jones, who coached Childs on a homeschool cross-country team, said Childs was one of the team's top runners and just a really nice girl. Yeah, so basically this case, it just went cold as hell. I mean, it literally, there wasn't anything about it. And now it seems like there's something that's about to break, perhaps even tomorrow, right? So here it is. I think this is one that Cairo sent me. He got this link, probably because I think he hails from that state. All right. Hey, delusional lucidity, who is an individual who's lucid and delusional at the same time, which is a scary combination.
Gray, I have a question. Why USSSSOOOO frickin' MMMMEEEAAAANNNN?
I don't know why I'm so freaking Yeah, somewhere around there. Okay, Virginia, right? Yeah, something with a V on it. All right, investigators trying to solve the decades-old slaying of two Virginia Tech students made their first announcement about the case in 7 years Wednesday to say that with no new developments, a fresh team of officers. So this isn't really the greatest news, like, oh, wow, something's breaking. It's just that they're starting fresh with a whole new team, which could be good because there's a lot of new technology out there. All right, so tomorrow there's going to be a news conference, and it's scheduled for tomorrow, Friday, at Montgomery County Sheriff's Office to announce the relaunch of a task force that was formed years ago to dig into the killing of Heidi Lynn Shields and David Lee Metzler, sweethearts and tech sophomores from Lynchburg area. So the thing is there's actually DNA evidence that I think was available back then, but now with all the new breakthroughs, there might, something might break because of that. But the thing is how do you have DNA? Was it just, if there was just a rifle shot, maybe there was something more that happened? Maybe something happened prior to that. Who knows? 10 agencies, including the FBI, U.S. Marshal Service, and U.S. Attorney's Office, will take part in the investigation. State Police spokeswoman Corinne Geller said the U.S. Forest Service and Tech and Blackbird Police Departments also will be involved in the investigation, Geller said. The Montgomery County Sheriff's Office, which has been the lead agency in the investigation since it began, still will be involved in the case, Geller said. We're taking the lead on it, but that doesn't mean it's not a task force. We're still united, Geller said. Let's see. This is important here. She said that investigators will re-examine all the evidence collected over the past decade, starting fresh and moving forward with it. It's a little bit like the Delphi case, that press conference a few months back, in hopes of finding new lines of inquiry. Technological advances since the case began could offer new perspectives. That's for damn sure. Metzler, 19, was from Lynchburg and the son of a doctor. Childs, 18, was from Forest. Her father, Don Childs, was a veteran state police helicopter pilot who was retired since her death. The Childs and Metzler's family both attended the Lynchburg Heritage Baptist Church, and David Metzler and Heidi Childs began dating about 4 years before they were killed, friends and relatives said a decade ago. So they had been dating for 4 years. They were probably, high school sweethearts. They went to college together. They were going to get married. The whole 9 yards. Probably be a very successful family too, right? They'd probably be churchgoers. He was going to make a ton of money. She was going to probably make a ton of money. It just sucks. They got blown away. What's the view from 50? I don't know what that means. What does that mean, Jojo? Are you smoking your pot again? Puff puff? Let's see. The next morning, the teens' bodies were found. Basically, they drove up there together to hang out. She was going to sing some songs that she'd written to him, and he took her up there as a surprise sort of getaway type of thing, and she was going to sing him some songs. And then the next morning, the teens' bodies were found in the recreation area's parking lot on Craig Creek Road, which runs from US 460 through Montgomery County into Craig County. Metzler was in his 1992 Toyota Camry. Childs lay outside it. Both had been shot with a .30-30 rifle, investigators said in 2012, during the last news conference about the case. So that's the last time anybody's talked about the case, was 7 years ago in a news conference, and in that news conference they mentioned a .30-30. So there's going to be a news conference tomorrow, and let's see what the update is. Let me see. There was, I thought I saw, yeah, there it is right there. At the 2012 news conference, then Montgomery County Sheriff Tommy Witt disclosed that investigators had found DNA evidence. Since 2012, there have been no announcements, and investigators have responded to reporters' questions only to say that the case isn't closed. So I wonder if it's possible that they even found a shell from the rifle and were able to get DNA from that shell. As the person loaded it in, they touched it. I mean, it'd be really surprising if they could find another source of DNA. I mean, if you just walk up and shoot somebody with a rifle, there isn't going to be a lot of DNA sitting around. You have to leave something there, or a hair fell out of your head or something like that. But the thing is, you know, a lot of people have been up there. How do you know whose that is? So you'd have to find something that you knew was associated with the crime. And you have that DNA. So, God, let's see, you know. Get a hold of Colleen Fitzpatrick or Parabon Nanolabs, Nanolabs, you know, whichever one. Yes, everybody, hit the like button. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, if he interacted with them directly, it sort of feels like it was a robbery and he got shot, then she jumped out of the car to get away, and then she shot. She was shot too. Yeah, it's hard to say what it was though. If it was a robbery or anything like that. I didn't see anything about the purse though. Where did you see that? Is that a different article? No, I turned 50 a long time ago, Jojo. So, yeah, you must have smoked so much that your short-term memory lost about 3 years. That's amazing. Yeah, who knows, Gene Fish? Who knows? Yeah, don't get too far down the wild speculation path. I know that you're prone to that, so, you know, kind of, who knows, right? Now, the father was in the police department. Who knows if that has something to do with it? I guess we'll find that out tomorrow. Patricia came in and face-palmed herself. I don't even know who you guys are talking to. Are you talking to me, Patricia? When you said above, I understood her girl code, and I don't even know who you're referring to or anything. Man, huh. Very interesting. Nah, you're wrong, monkey. You're wrong. Man, you guys are confusing. I'll tell you that right now. What the heck? Oh my God. Yeah, don't worry about the 50 thing, anybody. It meant nothing. All it was maybe somebody mentioned how many likes there were at the time. Okay, so go ahead and hit the like button. That's it. My 50th birthday was years ago. I didn't just turn 50. Let's not waste any more time talking about that, all right? So that's it. Tomorrow there's going to be a press conference, and hopefully it leads to something. All right? Sound good? All right. Awesome. Yeah, the DNA, I think, is going to be a huge deal. If they know for sure that the DNA that they collected is related to the case, then boom. It's hard to tell all the time, though. Yeah. Yeah, great. You don't look a day over 52. Hey, wow. Thanks, Jay. Wow, that was the quickest I've ever seen the wording.
Mr. Hughes, coming at you live and breaking our news. He likes facts. Stays on track. Control his chat. With stats hating on pitbulls who are worse than trolls. If you interject, you'll get wrecked. Stop trying. No lying.
Mr. Hughes, coming at you live and breaking the news. He likes facts. Stay on track. Control the chat. With stats, hating on the Pitbulls, who are worse than the trolls. If you interject, you get wrecked. Stop trying. No lying. You know, I got to get a beat. I'm going to add that to the previous. I'm storing all of the rap suggestions over here, okay? So hold on a second. I got to move it over to the. There you go. Right there. Got it. It's all stored. Thanks, Jake. Jay Case, the rap writer. All right. Don't forget to hit the like button, everybody. I don't have the ability to play the audio this time, though, unfortunately. Okay, so we're going to switch on to another case that's from 1996, and this one is the Trudy Appleby case. This was apparently a really big case. I had never heard of it. I'm sure a lot of people maybe have, but at least it was in the paper a lot in that area. I won't believe you if you say, "Oh yeah, I followed that for a long time." I won't believe you. Okay, so don't try to act like, "Oh yeah." Yeah, I'm an expert on that one, boy. I won't believe you. Yeah, so this case was from 1996. A young girl was playing, Trudy Appleby. Or not, she wanted to, apparently she left her house and she wanted to go swimming. And somebody saw her get into a vehicle with a guy with a hat and curly hair, and she's never been seen again. She was seen a second time. Yeah, it's not Applebee's Rick Raven Rumney. Every once in a while, I'll try to be a little serious. Right? It's not Applebee's like the restaurant, okay? All right. So here is, I went all the way back in time. There's just a ton of different articles. All right, so this is the very first one. She actually went missing on the 21st. This is the very first one that I could even find. She went missing on August 21st, 1996. This is from The Dispatch in Moline, Illinois. Moline police need local residents' help to find an 11-year-old girl reported missing this week. Trudy Appleby, 11, was reported missing by her father, Dennis Appleby, Wednesday. And she last was seen by a neighbor about 9 a.m., so in the morning, Wednesday, with a white man believed in his 20s with dark, curly hair. The man was driving a silver or gray four-door car resembling a Chevrolet Celebrity. He was wearing a baseball cap, blue Nike shoes, blue or black shorts, and some type of printed t-shirt according to witness descriptions. Police ask anyone with information to call the Moline Police Department. Okay, so that was the very first article that came out. And then on the next day, there's this article. Somebody has to have seen her. Dennis Appleby planned to leave for Utah Friday. That's her father. On an 11-day vacation with his children, Trudy and Sean. Instead, the 48-year-old divorced single father worked frantically to find Trudy, 11, who has been missing since Wednesday morning. Mr. Appleby, 20-year-old son, was one of dozens of people handing out flyers displaying Trudy's picture and description. I've got to get my girl's picture out to as many people, and as many places as I can. So they were trying really hard early on to get information out. Some of the stuff will probably be repetitive as we go through this, but this is the second page of that. Let's see. Right. Let me go back to that previous page. I think there was a sentence that I need to look at here. Trudy was last seen by a neighbor at about 9:30 a.m. Wednesday, so now it's a half hour later now, outside her Moline home with a white male in his 20s with dark curly hair wearing a baseball-type cap, according to police. The man was driving a four-door sedan, silver or gray color, similar to in style to a Chevy Celebrity, but the license plate wasn't identified either by state or numbers. Mr. Appleby said. He said the car has 3 round red taillights on each side of the license plate. Trudy, who has brown hair, blue eyes, is 5 foot tall and weighs 85 pounds. Last was seen wearing blue or black shorts, some type of printed t-shirt, and blue Nike shoes, according to police. Her father said she's not the type of girl who would run away from home. So Mr. Appleby, he reported her missing at 7:30 p.m. after he came home from his job at Stetson. So, like, he left to go to work or whatever, and maybe the brother was a babysitter, and then she went out. A neighbor saw her get into a car with some unknown individual. And they say he was 20, but he really wasn't 20, apparently. We find this out later. Yeah, so they really they had no clue. Just a couple witnesses. All right, so I'm going through in time in the order that these came out. So then 3 days after that, another article, no new clues in girl's disappearance. That's the same newspaper, the Dispatch. And then 2 days after that, well, I guess that's part of the same, page 2 of another article. Let's see, I can imagine she would get into a car with a stranger. While police declined to comment on whether a possible abductor may have known Trudy, Police Chief Steve Etheridge said police have interviewed some people close to the family several times. See, here's the thing, is even early on, way back then, there was an individual that the father and police were interested in. But there was just no information on that person. And that's the father right there. Now here's something that's unfortunate. It's like, look at the picture of the father and then the picture of the suspect over here. Okay, you got this guy with a baseball hat with a straight bill and long hair, how everybody had their hair in the 80s though. And then you got a picture over here with a guy with a straight bill and then long hair in the back. Okay, but he has nothing to do with it. Yeah, so the FBI was even involved in this way back in 1996. I mean, FBI's been doing this stuff for a long time, but they got involved right away. Now, unfortunately, the family started buying into this crap right here. Psychics asked to help, or a psychic, to help find missing girl. And they used a psychic that apparently, and the sad part, it was the police. Police have brought a nationally known psychic into the Trudy Appleby investigation after failing to find any suspects. I mean, you're only into this 9 days and you're already calling in a psychic? You sound right up the same alley as the officer who sent the freaking clothing with blood on it the only piece of evidence they had in that other case, and ship it off to a freaking psychic who then never got the damn thing or got it and lost the damn thing. I mean, why are you already so desperate after 9 days that you're going to call in a damn psychic? Psychic Greta Alexander, credited by police as instrumental in finding the body of a missing Henry County Auxiliary police officer in 1993, has been asked to help find the 11-year-old Moline girl. Well, they credit her with helping, okay? In another case. I'd like to see how that really went, because psychics are fake, okay? They do not do a damn thing. Right, so Trudy had been missing for 9 days at this point. She was last seen getting into the passenger seat of a silver or gray car at her home in the 4300 block of 21st Avenue. All right, so I'm going to switch over to that case for a second. I wonder if this is the correct one. 4300. Because I got Dennis Appleby's address from a long time ago, and this sort of is starting to look right. So 21st and right there. So let's see, 4300. Man, too much stuff going on there. I should have put the address in this link there. Hold on a second. $4,300 21st Avenue. Okay. There you go, right there. So now it's a different place. 4300 21st. So I think I did see that address in the. I just thought it was so far away. This one here was perfect, but this was 9899. That's the date that was associated, but there was no prior dates. But there was a later one that was over in that same spot, so I'll just put a pin there for now. I'll take a look at it later. Okay. A witness had described the driver as a white male, possibly in his late 20s. The FBI was called in a week ago to assist in the investigation. Moline Police Chief Steve Etheridge said, I wonder if the FBI was okay with the psychic angle. The psychic says it's a friend of the family who has taken Trudy, which is what I suspected all along, Mrs. Edelman said. She said it's someone who's has been away for a while. The guy that supposedly has been Trudy, has Trudy, knows the family, the girl's mother said. Yeah, but see, the thing is that really psychic to say that? You know, the girl gets into an automobile. It's most likely that might be somebody that you know, right? Because then you're going to get into the car, especially if it's somebody that was told. Like if you're a psychic and you're told, oh, she's been told never to get into a car with a stranger. And then what's your first thought? Oh, she got into a car. Well, therefore, it's not a stranger. You see how that works? It's not all you're doing is using logic based on the information that's out there and coming up with a reasonable theory, guising it as a psychic vision. All right? Hey, is there anybody watching this over there on Dlive? If you are, say something so I can see a comment come in from over there. No, well, there's not. I'm just kind of going over the. I don't remember you ever sending me anything on this, Brenda, but I get a lot of emails, so it's not impossible. Oh, you mean the other case, yeah, that one's about as cold as you can get. It's going to just come down to the DNA that they've got in the case in West Virginia, or in Virginia. I don't want to say West Virginia. Oh, okay, there you go. It doesn't say what the person's name is, though, from Dlive. I wonder why. It's weird. You're the only one there? Yeah. Yeah, well, nobody knows who the hell I am over there anyways. So nobody's going to watch it. Oh, I guess it does say your name. Skrilla Crow or something like that. Yeah, I see it, yeah. Yeah, I see it. Okay, God, now I'm going to do this for you guys. Oh, I can play the auctioneer sound. Yeah, psychics are scammers. That's for damn sure. I mean, I think there's something out there, like I've always said, but come on. It's crazy. Alright, let's go on to the next one. So then, 4 days after that, for the true information, ask a child. Trudy Appleby is my daughter's best friend. Trudy was at my house Tuesday, August 20th, that's the day before she went missing, hanging out with my daughter. That evening was no different than any other time Trudy came over. She and my daughter talked and skated up and down the road. Trudy and my son called each other names. I believe he misses that. Trudy went home about 8 p.m. as usual, saying, "Call me later if you can," as usual. The next morning was very unusual. Trudy always calls about 9 a.m. But that morning there was no call. Upon calling there, my daughter got no answer. Trudy Appleby wasn't home. What happened to Trudy? Where is she now? Runaway? Some people are saying, I say no. She's too smart to do that. Older boyfriend? Some people are asking. I say no. She's too smart to do that. See, so when you got somebody saying how smart she is, and then, wow, she wouldn't do that. Okay, and then the psychic's going to readjust. Oh, okay, so what's when somebody she knew, felt comfortable with? Trudy is very smart, although she would tell me she didn't think so. I'm very smart in math, she once told me, but that's it. Who has Trudy Appleby and why? Does this person realize the big void that is left in this neighborhood without her? And that's also the dispatch. Hold one of the dogs if we had someone over. Let's see. Amber 13 said a stranger could not have abducted Trudy. See, there you go. See that? Amber 13 said a stranger could not have abducted Trudy because she and her dad have 3 dogs and do not allow strangers near the house. Trudy had to hold one of the dogs if we had someone over they didn't know real good, Amber said. Those dogs wouldn't let anyone near Trudy. She'd call me every morning at 9 o'clock, Amber said. She didn't call me Wednesday, August 21st. So I called her. She didn't answer. Amber's mother, Kelly Bangert, remembers coming home from work and hearing her daughter on the phone with a very worried Dennis, her Trudy's father. Amber had talked to Trudy's dad, Mrs. Bangert said. She knew something was wrong because he said somebody got her. So where is Trudy Appleby? Amber wishes she knew. The police have asked me that 1,000,000 times, she said. I don't know what to say. I feel something's wrong. Okay, now we're skipping ahead a year. So there's the father again right there. I mean, this stuff's just a total nightmare for these people, you know? Just think about it. Think if that was you. It's horrible. You know, absolutely nothing was different that day than any other day, except a monster showed up. And that's how that day was different. Where in the world is Trudy Appleby? This article starts. When the Moline sixth grader disappeared a year ago, just before her 12th birthday, family, police, and the community launched a frantic search. In some ways, the search for Trudy had turned into a no less desperate search for answers. At this point, I just hope they find out what happened, Kelly Bangert, the mother of one of Trudy's friends, said. Many of the 100 or so people gathered Thursday to mark the 1-year anniversary of the girl's disappearance said it is a battle to find hope in the frustration of a case that has produced no clues. Police and the FBI, some present at Thursday's gathering, have remained close to the case for the past 12 months. Though leads continue to pour in, the investigation has led to dead ends, officials said. Meanwhile, Trudy's parents made it clear their hopes for their daughter's return now are mingling with a nagging desire for answers. Yeah, it just blows. Okay, now we are looking at about, this is 3 years later. Trudy Appleby's dad describes his life. Dennis Appleby's life has been never-ending hell for the last 3 years. Every day I wake up and wonder if this is going to be the day. Haven't we heard that? Today is the day. Has anybody seen that? I know that Becky types that in on her Facebook page every day. She says, today is the day. And that's exactly what this dad's saying. And this is 3 years later in his case. Every day I wake up and wonder if this is going to be the day it ends, he said, his voice cracking. It's the first thing that comes to my mind when I wake up every day. If they can be, days like today are a little worse. Today is the 3rd anniversary of the disappearance of Mr. Appleby's daughter, Trudy, who vanished near her home exactly 2 weeks before her 12th birthday. A witness reported seeing Trudy get into a gray or silver-colored car driven by a white man in his 20s. Tonight, Mr. Appleby and anyone else who wishes to pray for Trudy at a candlelight vigil, and it gives the information about that. And this has a second page. Let me just see what's in here. So here's something that's interesting. This is 1999. Mr. Appleby said he knows who took his daughter, but can't prove it. He believes police also know, but they too haven't found proof. I just don't know what it's going to take. I don't know where to go anymore. I don't wish this on anybody or nobody. I don't wish the kind of pain I carry around day to day on nobody. You got nowhere to go, he said. You can't put closure to it. You got to pick up the pieces of your life and keep on going, but you don't know for sure where the hell you're going. Investigators from the Moline Police Department and FBI followed up on 700 leads across the country before Moline announced in March the investigation was being refocused locally because of new information which they called compelling. Okay, so the thing is they probably did know at the time who the person was. They just couldn't prove a damn thing. That's probably why they made it local, because the guy is a local person. Okay, now we skip forward to, I'm skipping forward 13 years or so, all the way to August 2012. So here's where things start to get a little bit more interesting. New search for Trudy targets island in rock. I'm not sure what that means. Island in rock. Is that a place called Rock? It sounds like it with a capital there. Family of missing girl hopes for answers after 16 years. As law enforcement agencies searched along Rock River near Kelowna, the Rock River, near Kelowna on Thursday, following a new lead into the disappearance of Trudy Appleby nearly 16 years ago, family and friends held out hope for answers. Moline Police, the Rock Island and Henry County Sheriff's Department, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and the Illinois State Police all are involved. Authorities were at Dynamite Island. Let's see where that is. Hold on. I wonder if that's that little island. Dynamite Island. Maybe I spelled that wrong. Just a second. Just closing down a bunch of these PDF files. They start using up memory. I have a ton of memory, but why not? Dynamite Island, huh? Dynamite Island, just downstream from the Illinois 84 bridge over the Rock River. So let's see, Illinois Bridge. So I think I've already got this place here. So there's Campbell's Island right there. So you wonder, is this the Illinois Bridge? Let's see where the Illinois Bridge is. Hold on. The thing is, this bridge right here. Oh, is this it right there? That's Rock Island right there. There you go. So it must be this island right there. Authorities were at Dynamite Island. No, that's Rock Island. Dynamite, downstream from the Illinois 84 bridge. Okay, just let me check one more thing. I'm not reading any chat, so it's not going to help if you type it in. Okay, so that's 84, and what road is that? It's 19th. 84, 84, 84. Okay, so maybe it's way back this direction. Oh, that's 84. So it goes like that. Around. Yeah, I don't see it. Oh well. Don't see an island called Dynamite Island. So, not going to waste any more time. Doesn't really matter, that first search anyway. Authorities were at Dynamite Island, just downstream from Illinois 84 Bridge, over the Rock River throughout the day. Some trees were cut and a mini excavator was brought in to help dig. Moline Police Department Detective Scott Williams said officers will follow the new information as far as it takes them. Yeah, many investigators have had different leads through the years. The late Ken Hanger, who retired from the Moline Police Department in 2005 after 37 years on the force, had worked on Trudy's case for years. We want it resolved, mostly for the family, Captain Hanger said in 2005. They can't have any closure, and that weighs on my mind. So, you know, this is a case that I don't think was ever really cold, really. I mean, these guys seem to be worked all throughout the years. There was something, you know, maybe there wasn't articles and so forth, but people kept looking into it. So that was 2012. And then 2016, there was this article. And this is sort of a age progression here, I think. Yeah, so she was last seen that morning leaving her driveway in a gray silver car. The driver appeared to be a male in his 20s with dark curly hair and a baseball cap. This was in the area of 41st Street and 21st Avenue in Moline. She has never been seen or heard from since. Those are the facts in a nutshell. Now it's about to get a bit more personal. Trudy Appleby is not just a name or a statistic. Trudy Appleby was a real little girl who at the time of her disappearance was 11 years old and just 2 weeks shy of turning 12. Trudy had a family and lots of friends. She was my neighbor and spent a lot of time at my house. I first met Trudy sometime after we moved into this neighborhood. She was outside in my yard one day and I opened the door and she said, "Hi, my name's Trudy." You got any kids? That's kind of cute, right? I mean, she went to talk to an adult, wanted to play with some kids, so says, "Hey, you have any kids?" The rest was history. She became fast friends with my oldest daughter and was over to the house quite often. Trudy was a little spitfire of a girl. She was outgoing, friendly, loving, and very bright. I last saw Trudy on August 20th, 1996. That was the day before, when she was over at the house. It was a usual Trudy visit. This is sort of similar to that article that we read earlier. Rollerblading, out front eating hot dogs, talking about the upcoming school year and vacations. My daughter walked her home at about 8 p.m. As usual. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever think that would be the last time we were to see Trudy Appleby. But the next morning, everything changed. James Dean. Is there a James Dean in here? I don't get it. I got a call at work, and life as we knew it in this quiet, safe little neighborhood had changed forever. You know, and she says she's played the night before in her head a million times, but obviously the night before had nothing to do with anything. It was just, everything was normal up until the monster showed up at the house. What happened to Trudy? We do not know. Her family doesn't know, her friends don't know, and this neighborhood does not know. Someone knows, though. That someone needs to come forward and make that call. Make an anonymous call if necessary. All right, so now I'm going to move on to about a year later, 2017. Police still pressing for break in Appleby case. But here's the thing. The Moline Police Department is continuing its campaign to find Trudy Appleby. No one has seen Appleby since August 21st, 1996. She was 11 when she disappeared. The department recently put a post on its Facebook page for people responsible for her disappearance. For the last 8,014 days, you have been lucky, but you will need to continue to be lucky every day for the rest of your lives, the post states. We only need to be lucky one day. Is today that day? They said. Okay. I'm just reading some of the comments now. It's weird how everything always goes off track to personal things when we're kind of just going over the case. Strange.